Hello guys, so today I am here with a poem analysis of Sylvia Plath's poem Mirror. This is a very interesting poem. So before knowing or before getting into the lines of the poem, let us know something about Sylvia Plath. After that we'll get into the poem. So about Sylvia Plath. She was born on October 27th, 1932 and died on February 11th, 1963. She was born in Boston, Massachusetts, and Plath graduated from Smith College in Massachusetts and the University of Cambridge. She was an American poet, novelist, short story writer, and she is known for advancing the genre of confessional poetry. She married Ted Hughes in 1956 and she was clinically depressed and killed herself in 1963. She won Pulitzer Prize for her work, The Collected Poems, which included her unpublished poetries also. That's about Sylvia Plath. So the poem begins with the line, "I'm silver and exact. I have no preconceptions. Whatever I see, I swallow immediately, just as it is, unmisted by love or dislike. I'm not cruel, only truthful." So what does this lines convey? So here the title of the poem Mirror, it itself is a speaker. You all know mirror is a non-living object. So here the poet has given life to the mirror and this mirror speaks. So the literary device used in the poem is personification. Mirror, we all use mirror in our day-to-day life. Mirror is a common topic, like we all know, right? So but Plath uses mirror in this poem to point out people's perception and the reality of life. Now let us describe those lines. The mirror is describing its color. Mirror is silver in color. It says that mirror do not have preconceptions about anything. They show what they see. There is no need for a mirror to please anyone. Thus, it is unmisted by love or dislike. Mirror is not cruel, only truthful, as it shows exactly what it sees. Okay, so the next lines are, "The eye of a little god, four-cornered. Most of the time, I meditate on the opposite wall. It is pink with speckles. I have looked at it so long, I think it is part of my heart. But it flickers, faces and darkness separate us over and over." So when it comes to these lines, the mirror, it considers itself as a god. Now the mirror is describing itself. It is four-cornered. Then it describes about its action, what it does most of the time. So most probably people hang mirrors in walls, right? So the mirror, it will have to face its opposite wall throughout its life. That is why the lines, "most of the time I meditate on the opposite wall," comes in the poem. So the color of the opposite wall here is pink. So the mirror, it observes not only the pink color but also the speckles in the wall also comes to its notice. It is because the mirror observes the wall for a long time. As it observes the wall for so long, the mirror feels that the opposite wall is also part of the mirror. But in between, it flickers because of the faces which comes to look themselves in the mirror. Even the night time, it separates them as there is no light. It's dark during the night time. In the next stanza, the mirror describes itself as a lake. The line goes like, "Now I'm a lake. A woman bends over me, searching my reaches for what she really is. Then she turns to those liars, the candles of the moon. I see her back and reflect it faithfully. She rewards me with tears and an agitation of hands. I am important to her. She comes and goes. Each morning it is her face that replays the darkness. In me she has drowned a young girl, and in me an old woman rises toward her day after day like a terrible fish." This means if the mirror regards itself as a lake, a woman comes and looks her face in the lake, She wants to search who she really is by looking herself in the mirror. So, after knowing who she really is, she'll not be that much happy, as reality will not always be beautiful or acceptable. We all know it, right? So, she turns to those liars because she needs to feel good about herself. So, she turns herself to those liars. Who are those liars in this poem? The candles or the moon, which the mirror refers as liars. Why? Because it does not give a real image, but just the shadow of the real image. The next stanza goes like, I see her back and reflect it faithfully. So, which means it's direct statement. Like, as the woman turns back, the mirror reflects her backside faithfully. But the woman rewards me with tears and an agitation of hands. So, which means that the woman is getting old. Right now, she is not happy with her real image. She started to get aged and her skin starts to wrinkle. So, thus, the woman has tears in her eyes as she cannot accept that she is getting old. The next stanza goes like, I am important to her. She comes and goes. Each morning it is her face that replaces the darkness. In me, she has drowned a young girl, and in me, an old woman. Races toward her day after day like a terrible fish. So every day the woman looks at the mirror, thus the mirror is important to her. That is why the mirror says that the mirror is very important for the lady. It's not only important to the particular lady, but for every one of us. Like all of us look mirror on a day-to-day basis, right? So that is why it's important. When it is darkness, the mirror cannot see anything. As soon as the light comes in the morning, the woman comes to look her face in the mirror. That is why it is said that each morning it is her face that replaces the darkness. Then the mirror says, in me she has drowned a young girl, and in me an old woman. Which means when she has been looking in the mirror from her very young age, and now she has turned to an old woman, rises toward her day after day like a terrible fish. Here the phrase terrible fish, it refers to the behavior of the fish which gets trapped in a net. What will be its behavior? In the pond, the fish is so happy because it gets water, but when it gets trapped inside the net, there won't be sufficient water for the fish to survive. So it becomes dull, without any grace. Similarly, when the old woman turns old, she loses the beauty she had when she was young. That is the reason why the old woman is compared to a terrible fish. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos.